Hi, it's James Harrison here to talk about the next daily drumming influences revisited from 2012. Today, February 2nd, it is Steve Gadd. I became a huge Steve Gadd like most other drummers. I mean, what can you say about him? He's done everything there is to do. Still, when they put out anything by him, people rush to get it and whatnot. I first became aware of Steve Gadd through the recordings of Paul Simon and Chuck Mangione. There was a live album that had an orange cover, and I can't think of the name of it right now. But I know that several of the drum corps that I was also into were doing a lot of Chuck Mangione tunes, so therefore I really got into a lot of the tunes. I think Bella Via and Hill Where the Lord Hides, and of course the Legend of the One-Eyed Sailor, which the intro was from an old Army drumming thing, Army cadence called Crazy Army, and it's gone on to be copied and added to, and you name it, and a ton of other things. And Steve Gadd himself has used it quite a bit. Of course, the recordings of things like I think Kodachrome and some of the early hits, and of course the Late in the Evening Mozambique beat and the 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, staples. He also recorded many things with Asia, and of course the album Asia and the tune Asia is Steve Gadd. Another one of my favorite ones is the tune Ludwig with Bob James. Some great drumming by Steve Gadd in there. Again, I think Steve Gadd was one of the first ones to take that rudimental background, if you want to call it that, and be able to apply it in a way on the drum kit that it didn't necessarily sound like rudiments. And he made some great grooves and some great recordings, and there's great stories out there with Chick Corea talking about how to get him to loosen up and do different things. And he's played, again, another thing with Chick Corea, just so many great artists, so many great tunes, so many great recordings. You can't discount his influence on everybody, not just me. And it's one of those people. I own several DVDs and videos of him because everything he does is so good, and you want to learn how to do it. And I think he was the innovator of a style of drumming that, like Dave Weckl and many people after him, kind of got into that. Possibly Vinny a little bit, So, but I can't say enough good things about him, and some of the recordings I still listen to this day. Recently, well, not that recently, at this point, year and a half ago maybe, there was a book that he put out where he talks about a lot of his warm-ups or exercises, and a lot of them are very drum corps oriented, but he has a little twist in there. It's called gaddaments, and he puts a little twist in there to flip it to the other hand, and then it's up to you to apply it to the kit and do different things with it. And then several other artists put out videos of them doing things with it. Great book called Gaddaments. If you're disciplined enough to go through drum corps style warm-ups, it's definitely very advantageous to have. So anyway, amazing drummer to this day still. If he puts out anything, people clamor to get it. I've got some of his solo work too as well, solo albums with the Gadd Gang and stuff, and all of it's great. The stuff the original album with Steps, Smoking in the Pig, Steps Ahead, amazing stuff. And again, I don't know of a drummer who's not influenced by Steve Gadd, unless they're just a punk drummer or metal drummer and don't really get into that thing. He definitely was one of the carrying the torch, or if you wanted, the bridge between jazz and jazz fusion and rock and all that. He was one of the people who was in everything. So the drummer for today, Steve Gadd.